Well, a good evening from the man in the shed. My name's Ian and welcome to my channel. Tiny video, only a little bit of an update, as in, you just never know what's going to happen. So, before I get to the bench, share a little something else with you. So, there's a big shout out here to a guy called Steve. Known him for a few years, and Steve worked abroad in the oil industry, I think. And he says my shenanigans in the shed used to keep him entertained on those lonely nights where he was away from home from months on end. I do know the guy. He comes in work regular, and he came in work the other day and said he's retired now, and I said, "You lucky bugger, I've got another year to go." Yeah, you wouldn't think so, would you, these little chops? He brought me a prezi. It was kind of a two-edged sword kind of prezi, because he said, "I've seen something in your shed that I thought I could have, and I'll do you a swap." And I thought, well, I've got two of them. And when he showed me the prezi, I definitely said I'll swap. So thank you very much, Steve. And have a look at what we swapped for. Well, we swapped for some belly Volk. What a name! Now that is kind of reminiscent of a brand name, I think. Look at that! Look at that! A wolf howling at the moon, and we got a product of Azerbaijan. Where's the top? This caught my eye. Focus. Produced 7th of the 8th or 8th of the 7th, 2021. Seal's intact. Seal. Oink, 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 oink. It's more like a pig, innit? More like, oh, I forget. We won't go there. Right. If anybody can read Azerbaijan, this is belly Volk. I can read that. It's in Lancashire speak. Has Ian Masinda Leox Tipley Etel. I am not carrying on with that. So the sticker on, so we've got that on that side, and of course then, because of the magnifying effect of the clear liquor, as you look through, it magnifies it to be a bit larger. So, Steve, thank you very much. Onwards. So we've picked very little up this week. We've been more concentrating on stripping wire, brass, etc. Now, it's only the 7th of December today. I'm loath to go and weigh in just before Christmas, because everybody, man and his dog, every factory, every people who save scrap as a hobby, they always take it in the week before Christmas. And probably even tomorrow. There's even got to see this little clip off Facebook from the old anvil yard. Expecting a busy day tomorrow. Well, I wish them a busy day, because if they're a busy day, they're making money. Right. But things are happening, and I do need to make a bit of space. So I might go in tomorrow, the old anvil yard, maybe see Ella dressed as a elf. Maybe. She's about the same size as an elf, really. You know, that's my prices slashed. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll only release this video after I've been to the old anvil yard. That way she can't punish me for my temerity. Right. A scrapman never wants, only waits. and I'll discuss that as I show you why. So I picked a small bag of fittings up from me, one of my usual guys I went visiting, and to go back a little bit, I was on a live stream or watching a live stream, commenting in the chat. E-Waste Mike and K&D Scrapping, Dan. And Dan was stripping some bits, and he had a single pole motor. I don't think I have one about because I've stripped them all. Well, you know what a single pole motor is, and it's got those tiny little legs of copper that go through them. You know, I normally take a wood chisel, cut the ends off, pull them through the other end. But Dan was showing a method where he took some snips. They were nice snips, expensive snips, and they kind of flat at the bottom and curved over, you know. And he just like snip, snip, turned it over, pulled them out. And I said to myself, I might have even commented to Dan, I need a pair of them. I think he must have commented because he said he'd had them for a long while. I think he said he was a truck driver and he found them in the road. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Dan. So I'm popping on about that. Well, I've picked up this bunch of loose cable. I've already been stripping it, cutting the ends off with this tiny pair of blunt stuff. I've got to do these, cut the ends off them. Why do I save the ends off these? Because Scrapping Irish makes me. And I just throw them in. And it's a bit of a pain with them. And just as I moved that, I spotted them. Now, I weren't too bothered because in here, I'd also pulled a pair of tile cutters out. And that's the best place for them, back in the iron bin. And then I saw them and I thought, oh, another pair of pliers or something. I pulled them out. You're supposed to have that music now, that really awe-inspiring music. Da, 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 da. No, that's not awe-inspiring, is it? There you go. Barco. That's a good make. They look pretty sharp. And I've got myself a pair of flat-bottomed side cutters. Is that correct term for them? So there you go. A Scrapman never wants, he just waits. And sharp enough for me. Let me get at that. So as we thin this out and get rid of all the rubbish, we come across a couple of MCBs. That's an MCB, that's an MCB. And just a little bit more of those in a minute. Put it all over there with stuff that needs stripping. Then got some bits of cable, some healthy looking, what did I say, about 6mm thick cable. That goes there for stripping. We'll put all the cable to one side. Go through this detritus. As you know, I like picking out the nickel coated copper. Every little helps, and there's usually quite a few of them in here because they get like a kit, and the kit is designed for several things, so they use the ones they want and bin the others. Aluminium. Even found a piece of French chalk, fine for marking on steel. I am. All the best people, all the big channels put their own initials somewhere in the shed, don't they? Right, bit of copper. Big anchor bolt. Stainless steel anchor bolt. I'll keep that. I'll keep that. Right, so let me carry on and I'll show you them. And just like magic, we've had a quick sort out, quick clean up. Got a bunch of screws, nickel coated copper. I got some copper out of it anyway, but I have started stripping some of this juicy stuff because I like a kid at Christmas and I just wanted to see it. A little bit of brass, and yes, I will be taking the brass out of these chocolate block connectors, bit of stainless, some plugs, some screws, and this, which is, I think, the new type of Wago connector. Might take that apart just to see, just because I can and I'm interested. Some zip ties always useful. This is where Scrapping Irish will be pulling me up next Sunday, won't he? With these pass-through box, junction box, you saw it, didn't you? Brass inside of there. So yes, I will be taking the brass out of those little noggins. You know my philosophy. I've brought it home. I have to deal with it. Might want to be a little bit, but the fact is I've brought it home. So if I don't take that little bit out of it, I wasted my time bringing it home. Yeah, it is what it is. And finally, a bit more cable to strip. We'll get through to that over the weekend. Hopefully. I'll explain at the very end why I say hopefully. Right, what I said now was connect MBCs, contactors. Miniature circuit breakers, MBCs. Now, I touched on these a while ago. Someone asked me to do them. How do I take them apart? Well, I just ended up smashing them apart. The easiest way to drill the rivets out. That side. Drill the rivets out. And I have been advised that you can also punch them out. You get, a decent punch. You could punch them through over a hole. Well, whilst I talk about these, let me talk about something else. Now, I've just been watching Chris. Oh, there's another one there, hiding from me. I was watching Chris, the Ultimate Recycler, just put a video up, and he's done a bunch of these. And we all, learn from each other. I'm a hobbyist scrapper, and I certainly don't know it all. Although I break these up, and I'd break them up anyway, he was breaking them up, or he was starting to take them apart, and he came to the conclusion, a bit like a Kinder egg, you never know what's going to be inside of one. You can get two identical makes, by the same company, same shape, take them apart, and they're built different inside. And he showed a neat trick, which I'm going to show you now. Well, I'll show you. I mean, I'll still take them apart because that's my nature. But he was saying, get a magnet. Stick a magnet in the middle. Don't pick it up. Pick it up, a little bit of magnetism at the end. Well, that'll be those type of things that's inside. Well, the other one, you can pick it up. So he's saying that type isn't worth stripping. It's more metal stuff inside. Well, it's all metal, but more ferrous than there is non-ferrous. Where if you can't pick it up, there's going to be more non-ferrous in. I will, of course, just to prove that theory, drill those out, take them apart, and just show you. Then we'll go back talking about Chris. But before I just drill them open, and some people might now want to just look away. People like Shark Scrapper, and Jimmy C and friends, got all these screws, and wow, here's throwing screws away. Got all these raw plugs. Yeah. Throw them away too. Yes, you saw right. And no, I will not be. And I will not be going delving into the bottom of the earth to get them out. Back to drilling them off. Well, for a short video, it's certainly dragging on. That's because I keep getting distracted, don't I? Right, I did strip that chocolate block to get the brass middles out. Very easy, unscrew them to the top. And then you just get your pinchers and twist it off. Every bit helps. And then I thought, well, I'll start doing these. So the little plastic cap, you can surprise out with a pointy thing. Then you can take the right size of punch, like that, and you can knock out that little bit of brass, which turns out to be a magnetic nut. Can't win them all. You see, that's the black ones. See, the white ones could be different. So we have to do a white one, just to make certain. Right, enough of that. Frivolous. Chris, the ultimate recycler. You're going to laugh at this. So yes, I did drill them out, and yes, I did keep the little aluminium rivets, and in this one, brass rivets. I opened that one, and as he said, you know, more iron in the middle, but you do get that copper coil. That one, the magnet didn't stick to, well, when you open it, it's something totally different indeed. That appears to be, and when I read what it said on the label, was an anti-surge device. So I guess electricity, yeah, you suddenly, I don't know, lightning or whatever, surge in power, it goes into probably a capacitor, something that will take it in and then probably leak it out. Turn it over. You'll probably find there's a resistor on the other side to leak it out, probably. But speaking about Chris, so Chris has just put a video out tonight, watched it, a bit of a, right, his father passed away a few weeks ago. But a while ago, he had an accident on the farm and he eventually lost his leg. And they did a little video, a little tribute video to that they've released. And I've watched it. And I'm not, no way I'm putting you down, your dad down here, Chris, but it reminded me so much of Monty Python. So the guy had his foot cut off in this machinery, ended up losing his leg, caught himself middle of a field, tied up in a machine that wanted to eat him, and he's like, "'Tis but a scratch. He's in hospital." And they say, "We can't save your leg, by the way." And he's like, "Cut it off." "Yeah, but don't cut me good boot off." What a guy that is. You know, I only need one boot now, don't I? Don't cut me good boot off. Chris, that was a very nice tribute to your father. And I'm sorry to hear his passing. I did mention on his video, we did comment, my daughter went to Australia and she brought me a series of books back and memoirs of I can't remember the name, a workman, ranchman, by Tom Cole. And it details everything he does. What an amazing Australian he was. If you don't know about him, look him up. Tom Cole, Australian. Yeah, hunting, living with the Aborigines, hunting crocodiles, doing all sorts. That brings me on to something else also a little bit sad. One of our brethren, one of our scrapping community, everyday solace, and a lot of us know that her son was suffering from cancer. Well, he lost that battle today, this morning. Joe has allowed me to share with you. A lot of people do ask on Scrapping Iris's live stream, how's everyday solace going on with the battle, how's the little lad going on? Well, like you say, sadly he lost that battle today, and I'm sure all the thoughts are with you, Joe. Right, sorry to end up on that bit of bad news. Where will I be over the weekend? What's coming from me? Well, tomorrow's my work's Christmas party. I may not be fit enough to record anything over the weekend, although as the lads tell me, last Christmas we put you in a taxi and sent you home at 9:30. So we'll see what happens this weekend. If Everyday Solace has got a channel up and running, pop in and just say, pass on your condolences. And the same to Chris as well, the ultimate recycler. Okay, Ian in his shed. Might see you over the weekend. Take care now.